Doing push-ups in jail with broken fingers, sit-ups with broken ribs. I had already dove on someone and began strangling them. They kept me isolated, giving me a psych evaluation, leading to solitary. At one point, they started feeding me pills through the slat in the door. Heavy dose of Haldol, that warm high that creeps down your spine like heated seats. Something, if anything, to look forward to. The front half of my head was crudely shaved. My last day in, they had a Samoan guy who was half Japanese bake my hair to the scalp with a single Bob Barker jail issue razor with the guard removed. I remember he had this laugh. It sounded like an amused hyena. His hair down to his hips, tactfully slicing and dicing my remaining hair. They put us in a stuffy room, giving us back our clothes. I have no idea how they got the blood out of my shirt. One Aleut kid with hair down to his hips was a wild loudmouth who spoke highly of the elders. He was so excited to show off his biker vest. "See right here, there's a pocket for a gun," he said. Then he told a story about shooting a burglar who had broken into his home. The lot of them were young, excited to get their hands on some tar or a bottle. "My girlfriend's hooked bad, she's banging it. I only smoke it," one man declared. The only sensible one was the old white hobo who, like me, kept my mouth shut, dying to escape the company of these guerrillas. Little did I know I would be released into a halfway house with a curfew and strange people coming in the unlocked door at random hours of the day and night. The sound of tinfoil at 2 a.m. in the kitchen. The used rigs I'd find under my bed. What a fucking disaster. The way the hallways reeked of sewage and nobody stole each other's laundry. They did steal food though. Sometimes I would feed this redneck meth fiend. I remember I saw him eating a Slim Jim he picked up off the ground. I went inside and made him a hearty banana and peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He wolfed it down like a grain-fed hog. One time this kid showed up. I had been there about 2 months, laid into the routine of being awakened to the sound of R&B blaring on the speakers in the hall, code for meds, and the lot of us lining up like sows, the smell of sewage and body heat sifting through the halls. The kid had been on the phone. He was desperate. It was my phone he was using. "I did fucking heroin last night, man. I was at some party. I've been up all night." At the time, I was preparing to head to the hospital as the voices in my head had become further unmanageable and my living environment torturous, my disdain for humans amplified. At least the psych wards provided solitary, a roof over my head and a toilet to use. I remember I had some Honey O's cereal. Not many people give enough credit to. Anyways, the kid who had been up all night was assigned to my room. He was just sitting there. I poured a huge bowl of this cereal, taking a giant heaping spoonful of peanut butter and plopping it into the bowl with the milk. He instantly began scarfing it down. I laughed to myself inside. Then I headed out the door on my way to ANMC. Recently, someone mentioned about people needing to recover from experiences in psych wards. However, I disobey this need. Jail is a motherfucker. Even the hellish experience I had at Matsu Regional had giant windows looking out over mountains. I hated it there and bluffed my way out, tallying their HIPAA violations and claiming I had a hot shit New York City lawyer. The staff were awful, as was my psychiatrist. One day the kids running the show decided to make coffee by obviously filling the grinds to the rim of the filter, just to fuck with us. I began screaming at all of them. They were utterly terrified. My psychiatrist was forever clad in Abercrombie and Fitch sweats, eyes and cheekbones shaped by obvious years of meth use. He reeked of some creep trolling high school parties for ass. I remember they had some volunteer driving me back to Anchorage. She literally drove 90 miles per hour the whole way home. I was terrified for my life, sitting in the back seat, eyes popping out of my skull like eggs crackling on the skillet.